A portion of the program brought to you by the California Olive Oil Council.
Hello and welcome to California Bountiful. I'm your host, Aubrey Aquino. Most Californian olive oils are so good because they're made using olives grown on our rich California soil. And if you see the California Olive Oil Council seal, that means it was 100% California grown.
Well, right now we're in Lodi, California, and we are in the middle of an olive orchard, of a super high density olive orchard, which is kind of a new method of planting, and is really changing the landscape of how olives are planted and grown in California and around the world. In California, you really get hundreds of varieties of olives. You get eclectic brands, more traditional brands. It's just a really fun place to be for olive oil.
California holds among the highest standard in the world for extra virgin olive oil. And if the product meets both chemical and sensory standards to be sold as extra virgin, it gets the California Olive Oil Council seal of approval.
The real value of the seal is it ties that bottle to a person. It's not this bottle coming from 7 different countries that's a commodity. It's somebody who made that oil and went through the effort to make sure it was high quality and that it met standards, and then put the seal on it so that you as a customer know that what it is that you're buying. Extra virgin is the minimum standard. I think what we can do in California that's really going to change the landscape of olive oil is really focusing on what's amazing about our oils, the flavors and aromas, the soil, the regions, the makers, the growers. I think all of that is really distilled into a bottle.
David Garcia Aguirre is a master miller, the oil maker, and is passionate about the future for olives grown in the Golden State.
The reality is they grow in a very limited area around the world, and California just happens to be right in the middle of it. So there's really no reason why California shouldn't be doing olive oil, right? What matters most in olive oil is the freshness of the olive oil. It has to be really high quality fruit to make a really high quality oil, and then it's how fresh is that oil when I get it. So we should think about olive oil like we think about lettuce. It's not what's the shelf life, it's how fresh is this.
Another fan of the crop is Benina Montez, who diversified her family's farm beyond almonds.
We're new to it, so it's been a little bit of a learning curve, but we really love them. They're pretty easy to grow, not a lot of labor. They use less water than our almonds, and they are providing a nutrient-dense, killer, awesome product. And so we're really into having nutrient density. On our farm, we primarily have Arbequina and Arbusana varieties, and we have it in a blend. We do also have a border of Koroniki. Primarily in California, that's what's being grown is Arbequina and Arbusana.
There are more than 100 varieties of olives that are produced in-state for making olive oil. But it's the native elements that really make the difference.
It's essentially a fresh pressed juice, so it retains all of those nutrients and antioxidants that are in the fruit. And because of that, it can have a really positive impact on our health. It is liquid gold with polyphenols in it and a bunch of other yummy, healthy components. What excites me most is that most people have never had fresh oil before. And the moment you have a fresh oil and it clicks that it's actually juice from a fruit, it's like this wonderful aha moment, well, duh, of course that's what it tastes like. Of course that's what it smells like. It smells like natural things, herbs and grasses and fruits.
Next, I had to get a taste. All right, David, so now I'm gonna taste some of this California olive oil you've been telling me all about.
Yeah, so tasting is a super important part of olive oil. It's one of the few foods that actually has a sensory component in a legal grade definition. So grab this clear one here. Okay. This is a warming mat. We're warming up the oil so that it releases all of those aromas. So the very first thing we do is we take the lid off and we smell it, and we ask ourselves if it smells like fresh natural things, herbs, grasses, fruits, anything like that.
Okay.
So.
Oh, well, there's plenty of aroma coming off that.
Yeah, right? So there's fresh cut grass, basil, those kinds of things. So that is the first telltale sign of a fresh oil. Next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna put some in our mouth and we're gonna swish it around, and then we're gonna suck oxygen through in what's called a slurp or a serpagio. So it looks like this. Perfect. Exactly. And then you swallow it. So what we're looking for after we swallow it is a warm, spicy feeling in the back of the throat.
I definitely feel the spiciness.
Exactly, so that comes from all the natural antioxidants that we capture in the milling process. The other thing I want you to notice is now that we've had the oil and it's been a minute, right? Your mouth is super clean, right? It's not greasy, it's not oily, it's not like you've been chewing on a stick of butter or anything, right?
Right.
Some oils are more robust, right? They're like the Cab and the Pinot. Some oils will have a lot of spicy, peppery, they'll be very intense. Some are more delicate and are more like fruity and aromatic. But yeah, I'll just keep coming back to it. At the end of the day, none of that matters unless the oil's fresh.
So for fresh extra virgin olive oil, find the seal that guarantees it.